Hey guys, we are yet again on the PTS for week 1 Scalebreaker DLC, and today I'm going to be showing you guys potentially a food that will be replacing the typical purple tri-stat food as the best in slot food for tanks. Now most tanks, and for most situations, there are some situations where they use other food. I've used other food, other drinks even. But for most situations, most tanks in the Elder Scrolls Online uses something like this. It gives you max health, max magicka, and max stam. And the reason why, for those of you who don't tank, why tanks use some things like these is because it gives us all 3 stats, and tanks, regardless of class, needs to use all 3 stats: stamina for blocking, and puncture and heroic slash, magicka to typically use utility skills, and max health obviously to become a bit more chunkier as a tank. Now next patch, it seems, with the Witches Festival, which is the Halloween/September event for the Elder Scrolls Online that has taken place annually for I think now 3 years. It seems one of the 3 main recipes coming out is called Bewitched Sugar Skulls, and this is going to be giving us more max health, more max stamina, and more max magicka. Plus, it gives us health recovery for free. So if we compare the stats, it's going to be almost 200 more max health, and in terms of the magicka and stamina, it's going to be like 100 more max stamina, max magicka. It's not a huge difference, obviously, but this will probably be the next best in slot food for most tanks and for most situations. Add to the fact that it gives us health recovery. Now the health recovery may not be that big of a deal, but if we take into consideration that most tanks sit around 500 to 600 health recovery, or 400 to 600 health recovery depending on your race or even your build, it's actually a pretty good thing to have, because that could be almost 1000 health back every 2 seconds without that's not really a heal. It's just you get health back every 2 seconds. So this is actually a pretty cool food that they came out with, and I can see pretty much most tanks using this. However, one word of note: it seems if you on the PTS look at the recipes, it says it's a drink recipe, and all 3 recipes that are coming out are drink recipes in the inventory. But if we look over here at the delicacies under food, it's a food recipe. So I'm not sure if this is if this was a mistake, if I don't know which it was, like if did they put the wrong category on it, or did they put the drink recipe under the food recipe? Because according to their new standardization rules, drink recipes will now be less strong than food recipes. So I hope they clarify this on week 2 PTS or after, because if it's a food, really great news for tanks. If it's a drink, I don't know how it's gonna look like in terms of stats. And for the recipe ingredients, it's gonna be scrib jelly, columbine, honey, flour, and Bervey juice. And if it's definitely a little bit more expensive for sure than the typical tri-stat food, because tri-stat food uses mostly frost miriam, not Bervey juice, and columbine. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.